Okay, on to the next one. This will be a review for Sobok. Not whatever Sobok that you might be thinking of. It's the name. Um, this guy is one of the first background characters. Now I have all the official and unofficial Mata um, recorded and posted here on YouTube and on the Google Doc. It's time for me to go through the unofficial Mata, as well as something I will be dropping near the end when I'm done. But let's get into the lore I made for him real quick. One sec here. Sobaka is the keeper of the Tekadon vaults. It is his purpose to ensure anything put in these vaults are not taken out unless ultimately necessary. For this reason, he is made to be indestructible and hit hard enough to make you regret doing anything hostile. But most of the time, he is seen forging metal in his forge, making anything from powerful weapons to repairing jewelry for any Kodan that asks nicely. Can't speak today. What the shit? Now, I already did 360 at the beginning, so I'm not doing it again. But time for the size. Let's see. We'll start with inches first, so I'm American. For this to get his actual height with his head and everything, I'm gonna straighten him up a little bit. I'll put him back in his pose when I'm at that point. For inches, if I swing this a little bit and look up at it, he's just a little, like a few notches over 6 inches, so he's still pretty short. Let's see millimeters. Okay, good. Ooh, he is shy of 14 millimeters. Yeah, he's a pretty normal scale build. I'll lower this down a little bit and put him back in his forging pose. I like him in this pose. It's like the pose I want to do when I do the picture for him. Yeah, Sobok. That's his lore and so on. Let's go into the build a little bit because he is outside of his head, just like Cobble and Akis, outside of his head. Everything else of him will be taken apart. And I'll be rebuilding him in the future. But I guess for his weapons and tools and everything, it's got to be his strength and his armor because that's kind of what I have listed on the Google Doc. He's basically he's basically Rogel Dorn from the TTS series or text to talk. If the Emperor had a text to speech device, I just like Rogel Dorn in that, and I just want him to have that kind of personality, that very dry humor and just the attitude that he has. I wanted to kind of capture that for Sobok here. But yeah, he's basically the one that maintains the Mata's weapon. So like if Vero over here, which we'll talk about him in a second, he has changed yet again. If his digger claws or his cannon get damaged, Sobok will repair them as painfully as it will be. Yeah, I would scoot away pretty slowly if I were you. But yeah. Sobok is just this stone-faced kind of guy. And he, like I said, spends most of his time in his forge just making things. Lore-wise, he's more or less somebody who existed before the very gods that created the Amata. He's basically supposed to be one of the only living entities that still exists after the fall of the hyper-advanced humanity. That's basically where this all comes from. All these guys, our guys and girls and everything I built, they all take place in a universe that is inside of a pocket dimension, and he is the only thing that's a remnant of what this hyper-advanced humanity used to be like. He is he was one of their first creations and does possess a soul unlike anything outside of anything else that is existent. And he's basically a living chunk of metal. Didn't mean to do that. He basically is the last, like I said, last remnant of a now dead super empire that literally controlled every galaxy in existence. They basically were an empire of everything that existed. And it led to Sobok here, seeing as he's the last remnant of it, kind of carrying a level of wisdom that the others kind of look to in some regards. But generally, they look to him more of just repairing their weapons and everything so they keep the Kodan safe. He just worries about making sure that anything that gets put inside of his Tekadon vaults aren't pulled out unless, like I said, ultimately necessary. And if it's not necessary, he will make you regret knocking on the door. But yeah. The only thing of him that will be staying together is his head, because I really want to rebuild him in the future. He is fantastically designed. But like I said at the beginning, outside of any other changes I might want to make, there is nothing else to really say about Sobok. So I'm gonna put him off to the side for a sec. As you saw earlier ago, Vero got upgraded, and I just wanna go over those upgrades slightly. The main upgrade is that I've changed his backpack thing to be where his gun is located, and his claws are just normal digging claws. I may do more modifications before I update his Google Doc. He's still in whip progress, as I'm still trying to figure out where I want to go with him. I still do like the ammo belts kind of coming out of his arms look. I do like that, but I may change that up. If you saw one of the previous reviews of how I was going to change him up and everything, this is basically the route I'm going. I might be sorry, throat's getting a little dry. I might be changing him up his claws to be more like how Satir's original claws were, where she had basically Onoa claws. I'm probably going to toy around with that idea a little bit and see if I can make it work for Vero. If not, then he'll just, I don't know, stick this way. Once I'm fully happy with his design, I'll just redo his review and I will let you know before I do. But yeah, Vero has been changed up. He's not the same as he was before. He's still, the same character, but design-wise, he's slightly changed. But he's getting out of the way. I will get to him when I'm fully happy with how his design is going. But yeah, I'll get to that point when I get to that point. Sobok, stop looking at him like you want to punch him, which is something he's always kind of liking to do. Vero is so sarcastic, Sobok just wants to kick his ass all the time. He kind of brings joy from it because he likes just torturing the poor guy. But yeah, pretty quick review. Not much to really go into for Sobok because, again, he's a very simple character. I don't have to reinvent the wheel with him. He's this big, tough guy that is able to repair their weapons. Go to him if you need a weapon repair, that's it. He also protects your shit so nobody steals it. So, yeah. And it's also the same vaults that Akis was put into in the first place. I can't really think of anything else to say about Sobok. I mean, I might change up his legs when I rebuild him to be more Bionicle-esque and see if I can add more gears into his overall design. Because it's kind of the thing I did with his shoulder, but I didn't do with him in general. So I might look into seeing if I can do a more gear-heavy kind of look when I build him. Maybe ones where they're just spinning in his chest or some shit like that. Time will tell. When I get more Bionicle part or Technic parts in general, I'm going to go about looking into how I can redo Sobok to make him more like how I want him to be. But yeah, that's him. There's not much else to say. Already covered Vero. Don't even come on the screen, Sobok might punch you if you do. But yeah, have a good day, have a good night, and see you later.